Here are the 3 dark psychology principles that will get you girls so fast it feels illegal. I had 0 success in the dating scene, but at 19 years old, I vowed to make a change. I learned the strategies that took me from an overlooked simp to a complete savage that girls respect. Starting with this first principle that has the power to manipulate someone's behavior so much, it might be unethical. This summer, I was casually dating a girl that most guys would have been intimidated by, including my younger self. She was 5 years older than me and one of the most gorgeous girls I've ever been with in my life. And one thing I noticed about her is that she was a woman of her word. Anything that she committed to, she would follow through with 100% of the time. So as soon as she committed, I knew something was gonna happen and she was gonna follow through with whatever she said. And this is very powerful, and if you understand this, you can use it to your advantage in many different ways. See, people love to stay consistent with the commitments that they make. When they express something, whether it's an opinion, a belief, a statement, a commitment to someone else, they want to follow through with it because it's a bad look to not be consistent with your word, going back as far as human nature can go. So it's a very basic thing that's ingrained into people's psychology and their mind, is to stay committed to the things that they say. So how you can use this is you can try and get an initial commitment that you can hold people accountable to, and they're usually going to follow through with it 100% of the time. So a very ethical and easy way to apply this, just to give you an example, is say you're hanging out with a girl, you're having a good time. You can talk about, do you want to hang out again in the future? And if she says yes, you can talk about the exact thing that you want to do. You secure the next date whilst you're hanging out with them, because now they're committed to it. You secured a commitment. They said they wanted to hang out, you made a plan, and now they committed to it. So unless they cancel, they're going to follow through with it. You secured the next date. And for me, that's where I work my magic. So that's an easy one that a lot of you guys can start using, is just securing the next date whilst you're already with a girl, because that's where a lot of the magic happens, especially if you're charismatic and you watch this channel. You'll have a lot of good things to apply when you're on that date. And now there's a way that you can take this commitment and consistency principle to another level that will make it so much more powerful. See, with that same girl, I told you I noticed that she was a woman of her word. And one of the things I did was I really complimented her on that. I told her I love that she always sticks to her word. And even when she wasn't sure if she was able to do something, she would always preface it with, I'm not sure, I don't want to make it official because I don't know if I can follow through. And I would always tell her how much I appreciated that she was so straightforward, so honest, and she always was so consistent with her word. It was something I constantly gave her praise on. And this is so powerful because when you give people compliments on a trait that you really like, and especially something that they're proud of themselves, something that they really hold true to their identity, they're gonna wanna live up to it 10 times more. So the practical use here is you can give genuine compliments on behaviors that you want people to be consistent with and even amplify, because when you compliment someone on their behavior, they're gonna feel so proud of it and they're gonna wanna do even more of it. Now, this second principle will make people feel connected to you so quickly by just leveraging some basic psychology. So when I was 19 years old, I went to Sweden for the first time as an adult, coming back over a decade from not being there. And I knew nothing about the culture, and I wanted to go out and make friends, meet girls. So I went out all by myself to the club, but I stuck out like a sore thumb. Even though I looked very much like them in terms of being blonde hair, blue eyes, I still was an outsider, and it was so obvious due to the fact that I wasn't very culturally adept. I was wearing checkered pants, like the plaid checkered pants, and they thought they were pajama pants. They literally asked me, why are you wearing pajamas to the club? I also had skinny jeans. I had terrible style at the time, and no guys there wear skinny jeans. So once again, that made me stand out instantly, and they recognized something's wrong with this dude. So I really quickly had to adapt to the culture, and they like the old money style. I also realized some of the things I'm about to teach you, so I started talking about, how I'm Swedish, 50%. My mom was from Sweden. I talked about, a little bit of the Swedish I knew and would be like playful and banterous, especially with girls making mistakes, just laughing about it. And all of a sudden now I was much more like the Swedes, and they accepted me so much quicker. So me being able to be fit into the culture allowed me to be one of them. And the lesson here is that you really want to create that we-ness effect, like shared identities, being part of the tribe, being part of the culture. Because the more different you are to other people, the harder it is going to be to build rapport and connect with them very quickly. The more similar you are to people, the easier it is for you to connect. This is just basic human psychology. And if you can imagine rapport like sheets of paper on a table out in the wind, and every single piece of paper is a level of rapport that you build. Whatever it is you connect on some level, it's gonna stack the paper. And before you know it, you're gonna have a stack so big that not even the wind can blow it away. But if you only connect on one thing, that wind can blow that paper away so easily. So it's really important that you try and fit into the culture. You try and speak to people in a way that they really can connect with. If you can create that sort of unity with people and really be a part of their culture and really understand them as a person, they're gonna like you so much better than if you don't adapt to the culture the way like I was first coming there in the start. So it's so important that you can understand the principle of unity and how to apply it in many different situations. And now, this is how you use marketers' favorite techniques in dating. And I discovered the insane power of this when I was out at the clubs partying. I was also doing a lot of self-development, reading books on sales, psychology, marketing, and I kind of pieced them together. So my game is very simple when I'm out. I just like to talk to a bunch of girls, talk to them about themselves, just make simple introductions, and from there, get their snap if they're interested. And then at the end of the night, I'll ask the girls to come home with me or just text them if I can't find them. And it works a lot of the time, but sometimes there's always gonna be resistance or hesitancy. And I noticed that there was a huge difference when I applied this one simple thing where I just said, of course, do as you wish. I want you to feel comfortable. I would also love for you to come home with me, but it's completely up to you. Something as simple as that was a huge game changer and increased compliance a ton. And let me tell you why. Because the highest form of control is to make other people feel like they're in control. This is a huge thing I learned in sales. This changed the game for me, and it also applies with girls and anything that you do. When you offer people the exit, and then you can kind of pull them back in with a question or a statement that makes them want to continue the conversation, it takes all the pressure off. So now instead of you trying to push and a girl getting pulled back and she doesn't really feel comfortable, you're just putting that out there, and you're also creating a little bit of scarcity, because that's the principle we're operating off of here, is the opportunity that they might lose you, is you kind of see yourself as such high value, you don't really care whether this goes or not, and now you're also kind of putting the ball in her court, making her feel like she has the easy exit if she wants it. But at the same time, she now kind of wants to you pull back, she wants to push in. Instead of you just pushing, she's just only gonna feel retreated back. And there's also another thing that you can do on top of this that's really gonna drive it through the roof and make it insanely powerful. And this is going to be being seen around other girls. And I'm not talking about kissing other girls on the dance floor or something, because that's gonna tank your success. But just talking, being friendly, being seen with other hot girls being interested in you is very powerful, and it's gonna spark that competitive nature in girls to want you, because they talk to you, but now you're talking to someone else. It's more about just being social, being seen around many girls, being kind of an object of desire. This will drive girls crazy, and they're gonna now be the one that wants to take you home. I promise you, this has happened to me so many times. And when you increase it, or when you couple it with that sort of compliance, if they feel nervous, where it's like, the thing that increases compliance with, it's like, just very relaxed, using the scarcity in your favor, using the rivalry, it's just gonna make things so much smoother and easier and natural. And you won't even have to be autistic about it and feel like you're trying too hard. It's gonna just naturally unfold. So if you use that strategy where you're talking to a lot of girls, you're being very calm, you're not trying to push or do too much, it's ironically just gonna make things so much easier for you. And you're really gonna be using the principle of scarcity to the highest degree possible, and it's gonna be an absolute game changer, just like it was for me. So that's all for this video. And if you feel like you got any value out of this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. On here, I'm gonna be teaching you how to become attractive to girls and get the girls of your dreams. If you want my help in taking things to the next level, book a free coaching call with me down below. We're gonna dive into your exact dating life situation and give you some tangible steps that you can apply to improve it. So if that sounds of interest, book that down below. I've only got 3 slots for this month, taking on new clients. Once those slots get filled, the coaching calls stop, the free calls are done. So make sure to book that call in while you can. I'll see you guys on there. Have a great day, everyone.